Yeah. Yeah. Roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burt and Bogies, holding one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discuss in the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Smoking aces, laces tied tight. With a puff we fly, elevate the night. Golf ball soaring, higher than a kite. Fairway to heaven, shining real bright. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff.
Welcome back to another episode of the Pitch, Putt, and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get rolling here with the recap of this weekend and the rankings, we're going to give a shout out to a few sponsors, starting off with Mulligan Wear. Make sure you guys go check out Mulligan Wear _ on Instagram. Click the link in the bio, take you right to a site where you can find a dope line of hats, polos, hoodies. He's got it all. Here's one of his hats right here. This is the Mulligan Wear from the Masters hat. Go check him out at Mulligan Wear _ Instagram. Use promo code PUFF10. PUFF10 will save you 10% at checkout. Also, we got Backline Botanicals. Go give Backline Botanicals some love. These guys have the CBD gummies. They got the CBD muscle and joint stick, the THC shooters, everything you can think of in the CBD world. Go check them out, Mulligan Wear. They got the Tea Time Sunrise, the Birdie Boost, the Moonlight Mulligan. Go check them out over there at backlinebotanicals.com. Use promo code TPUFF10. TPUFF10 will save you 10% at checkout. Also, we got Athletic, ATHLETHC.com. Use promo code PUFF over there to get yourself the 2 milligram mints, the THC mints over at Athletic. These things are great for workouts, recovery, just to get you throughout your day. So this is the variety pack here, where you can get the power, the flow, and the rebound. So go check out athleticthc.com. Use promo code PUFF for a special discount over there at athletic, ATHLETHC.com. And last but not least, Trouble Off the Tee, our guy Marty. Go check him out, Trouble Off the Tee. He's got Never Lay Up, I'll Go Alone, Camel Chasing, Golf of America, Scratch Golfer. Marty's got those hats over there flowing out constantly, some new stuff, bringing you the fire. So go check out TroubleOffTheTee.com. Use promo code PUFF20. PUFF20 will save you 20% at checkout. And we're going to get into it today. We're going to do a little bit of the recap and the rankings episode. Going to start off with the recap. We'll start off with the scorecard. Start off with the scorecards, and we're going to go we'll start off with the low man today, Bub. Once again, Bogey Bub, Birdie Bub. We'll call him Birdie Bub today. He had 3 of them. Birdie Bub was cooking one up today. Had a good front 9, solid back 9. Ended up with an 81. He shot a 41 on the front, 40 on the back. Solid 18 from Bub today. Birdied on the first hole to start the day, as well as the 6th hole and 12. Bub was hit or miss with the putter today, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but he overall had a great round, coming in with the 81. Myself, I came in with an 87 as the second low score. Yep, second low score today. With the 87, shot a 41 on the front, no birds on today's round, and a 46 on the back. Had a blow up on 14. Shanked the ball, lost it. Kind of made the difference from a pretty good round to an average round, which turned it into about to be my average in the 88, 89 range. So 87 today. I'll take it. I always strive for an 85, but it is what it is. Following it up, next on the score sheet was Hank. Hank's coming in with an 88. Hank had a solid front with a 43. Followed it up on a 45 in the back. Looks like he really only struggled on the front wise, he double bogeyed the last two, but got it rolling right back when he started the front and finished off with a 45 with a par on 18 to round up an 88. Parisi coming in on the fourth lowest, midway point here with a 89. Shitty front nine for Parisi, but really battled his way back on the back nine for shoot a 42. And then we got Farina shot the 95, or excuse me, 94. Anth, not his best golf today. Putter wasn't there for him today. The Lombardi wasn't working as well as he expected. But overall, got off the tee really well, hit some good shots, just couldn't really score. He's playing well, just not scoring. And then with a 95, we had Kev. Kev's the type of guy. Kev gets off the tee great, hits the ball good, solid shots. He's just got to eliminate a couple of blow-up holes, and I think his scores will start to job. With the 95 for Kev, Mr. Birdie, fairway Mike. He had a birdie on, started off with a triple, but got those strokes right back when they got to the fifth hole. Got himself a birdie on that hole and shot a 47-49 to round himself out at a 96. And then we got Kirk coming in with the 99 to round out the day. Not his best round. Kirk's doing a couple different things with his swing. I'm curious if that is playing a factor going into it. So today's winners, we had his cards were pulled. It was paired up first was me and Kirk, 87.99, not going to get it done. And then Parisi and fairway, 96.89, still not going to get it done. And then we had Anthony and Bub. Pretty much whoever got paired up with Bub's 81 today was going to be the winner, unless it got tricky with a couple guys in the 80s. And then a 96.99 paired up with Bub. But Bub back in the winners column, holding on to that top spot. Shout out to Bub. Good round, 3 birdies. Way to bounce back and lock in with the putter. Had a couple issues out there, some holes with the putter, but for the most part had a pretty solid round going with the short game. So yeah, that was today's quick little recap. No major highlights, anything like that. Just a couple birdies. I didn't get a chance to see fairways birdie on the fifth hole. Would have loved to see that. Not walking around with too emotional out there. You can never tell with fairway. He's just kind of going about his business. So good score from fairway today, though. I could see it a little bit lower. Not sure how he played, but I'll get a chance to talk to him tomorrow out there and see what's up with what happened out there today on their side of things. I was trying to get one of them jump on, but a little bit later than expected, so everybody's busy. But we're going to get into the rankings today, and we're going to start from – we had 13 guys who have participated in a few rounds here in the Pitch Putt and Putt. I'm going to give 3 guys, Charlie, Mikey, and Ant-Man, a little bit of a pass here because they don't really have enough rounds to qualify to give them a solid ranking. So we'll all of them. Charlie, so I think he's the type of guy just gets out and plays more golf. He'll get it rolling. Mikey's really had a major turnaround this year, hitting the ball a little bit further, picking up this distance, making it a little bit easier for his short game, which is his sweet spot, and been scoring a lot lower, which is cool to see. Hope to see Mikey back out here with us soon. And then Ant-Man, only got a chance to play with him a couple times. He's been playing in the afternoons with some of his homies, but long as he's out there playing, man, and getting some rounds in, improving, it's what we want to see out of the young guys out there. And hopefully he comes back ready, take some cash out here on the PPP. But we'll start it off with Farina. Farina's coming at the 10 spot out of the guys, and partly because of the rounds. He doesn't really have a lot of rounds completed. He's probably only played in a handful of the weeks out here with the crew. So that's a big one, is the lack of rounds. But Ant gets off the tee really well. He has some good shots. He has some bad shots. Like, the biggest thing with Anthony's game is his lack of focus. If Ant focused a little bit more and just put the phone away, didn't worry about anything else but his round of golf, I think he would be a lot better golfer. And I've seen him do it. I've seen him on a Friday night. We were playing in league. We were playing each other, and I knew he wanted to beat me. He was locked in. He put the phone away. It was just about golf. So I think that's a big portion of it. The mental, just keeping locked into his round. The the lack of rounds played with the crew and the lack of focus to complete a round. He gets through some holes really well, but then it's not even like he has a blow up shot and gets mad about it and gets frustrated. It's literally something like his phone will buzz and he'll get something about the podcast, or he'll get something about, get a text from something about the family, and he runs a business, and I get all that. So he's, something about work. So he's got a lot going on at all times, but just the mental focus of a good round of golf, I think, will go a long way for him, because he has the potential to be pretty good and put up some consistent rounds. Coming up next, we got Kirk. Kirk's at the inconsistency stage of his game right now. He's working on a lot of things. He's getting to a point where he's got a lot of things figured out, but he wants to fine tune them to make them better. And he's working on the we played, like, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the podcast last week. We played Friday night, and he changed up his swing a little bit. And I noticed it, and I kind of didn't want to say anything to him because obviously we're playing a match. It was a great match, terrible golf. We didn't play our best, but it came down to the stretch and literally down to the last putt on the 9th hole. So still made it fun, even though it was some shitty golf. But he's just got to be a little bit more consistent. He's starting to get a lot better with the putter, which is great to see, because that's where a guy like him can really pick up a lot of strokes. He was losing a lot of strokes there before. Did see him kind of getting in a little bit of trouble today. Couple slices. He's been slicing the ball a little bit more, so I don't know if it's something to do with his new swing change, but he's one of those guys who's going to continue to work on his game no matter what anybody tells him, trying to get better and work out some kinks and try new things to find what works for him. But he's just at that inconsistent part of the game. And once he starts to get some things figured out, I think Kirk's going to be a real problem. Slowly move up this ranking list here, coming in at the 9th spot. The 8th spot, we got to go with Fairway. His name's Fairway for a reason. The guy just pumps the ball down the middle all day long. He struggles with his irons in the mid-range game, having some trouble getting some lift on the ball. Works on a bunch of things. Watching what other people are doing, trying to do too much sometimes, and he kind of has cut back on that and really just trying to figure out his swing, which is good to see. Major improvement this year around the greens and on the green with his putting, where he's saving some strokes. I've seen him just a lot more consistent with the putter this year, which is where he's got the potential to make up for some of the struggles in the mid-range game. So Fairway's coming in at the number 8 spot, where, like I said, with Fairway, I mean, all three of them, Fairway, Farina, and Kirk, they all have the potential to make a big jump up these rankings, because it's kind of, as you see as I go forward here, you're going to see there's some big changes. And it's performance based. I mean, I got scorecards in a box right here to kind of go along with it. Attendance based, the whole 9 yards. So it's going down the solid stretch here. We're gonna round it out with some changes, I think, at the top. But Brad's the next one. Brad is improving all aspects of the game. He's got to work on his putting a little bit inconsistent with the putter. But when he's out there with us, he's always, he does miss quite a few, and I think that might hurt a little bit where he is in the rankings. But he, when he's there, he's solid. He's going to put up anywhere from an 85 to a 90. Does have some of those rounds in the low to mid 90s, but for the most part, Scrounge is going to show up. He's going to have a good time, and he's going to play some good golf. Also, one of those guys who could save himself a lot of strokes on the green. I've seen him miss a lot of putts that he probably should make. It happens at Freer Park, especially. The greens are not the friendliest. It is the toughest part of the course is when you get to the greens. A lot of, like I always tell you, undulations, speed variations, everything else. You can miss a putt by an inch, and it will literally roll past it 8 feet, and you're in trouble on the way back. So it happens more often than not. So you got to be real cautious with some putts up there, and sometimes you got to lay up. It just happens to be what it is. But like I said, he's improving everywhere. He's got, gets off the tee well. Short game's pretty good. Just got to really tighten up that putting, and I think Scrounge will make his way up the rankings. Coming in at number 5, this is where the changes start to happen. JR. Jays hasn't been playing too consistent at golf this year. Um, the mental, the mental aspect of the game is taking a toll on Jay. He's been a little bit better with it lately, but there was a stretch there about 3-4 weeks ago where he was just not happy about not, he wasn't getting off the tee well, not playing good, was having some struggles out there, and it was showing on the scorecard. Um, but for the past 4 weeks since I've put out a rankings episode, Jay's had some struggles out there. So, and I think I've seen him have some trouble off the tee. He's got that snap hook back from his hockey swing. So it's another thing. He's only playing, Friday nights sometimes, and not really getting out there. He's playing on Sundays with us, but only getting those couple rounds in a week for some of these guys is not going to be able to get you really back into the full swing of things to be able to play consistent golf and fine tune what you're trying to do to be where you want to be. But Jay coming in at the 5 spot, a little interesting here, and then Parisi. One's kind of similar to Jay, the once a week golfer. He's got Parisi. We all know has the potential when he's playing a couple times a week to really fine tune his game and shoot those low 80s, 70s. We've all seen him do it, but just getting out there and the once a week has been a factor for him, and putting up inconsistent scores, having some scores in the 90s, the high 80s is not where we expect him to be. So a little bit of a bump back for Parisi here, moving him to the 4 spot. 4 spot for Parisi. But when he gets consistent and gets the reps in, he's a threat. He's a threat to be battling Bub for the number 1 spot. I mean, we all know Bub's going to be number 1. Obviously, the guy's shot mid to low 80s primarily all season, only with a mix of a couple rounds in the 90s. But yeah, Parisi and Jay as well have the potential to really threaten Bub more than any of us, I believe, for the most part. But it's just a matter of being consistent and playing solid, consistent golf. But speaking of solid, consistent golf, we're going with Hank. Hank's at the 3 spot. Solid, never in trouble, consistent all-around game. He lacks some power, but makes up for it with mistake-free golf, where if we're going off the tee, we can find ourselves behind a tree, or we can find ourselves got to have to punch out in certain situations, like on 7, you might pull it right a little bit, but Hank doesn't do that. Hank's down the pipe, good short game, solid short game. Does, like, when I say lacks power, he's just not driving the ball as far as some of us, but he's right there with us, by a second shot. And when it comes to being around the greens, he's going to stick it pretty close and bury some putts. I've seen Hank make some shots lately, especially a couple chip ins, couple long putts. So Hank's one to make some moves, man. Make some moves. And then the 2 spot, RGB, myself. Been playing some solid golf on Sundays. Had the 78, an 84, 86, and then 87 today for the past month. Prior to Sundays, I've been playing good. Fridays play like shit. Sundays play good. Sundays are kind of all that matters to me in the long scheme of things anyway. But when I don't have trouble off the tee, or even if I do have trouble off the tee, I find ways to get myself out of it. Recovery solid. My putter has been lights out for the most part lately, and I save strokes when I'm struggling hitting a solid tee shot. The weak part of my game is definitely getting off the tee, but I've improved a lot on my wedges, where I've had a lot more makeable putts on the greens and regs. So it's helped make a little bit of a difference on the scorecard, and that's where I'm seeing a lot of improvement. And there's a lot of times today where I 3-putted, where if I turned it into 2 putts, would have had a nice low 80s round myself. But just over the past month, I'm going to say that in the rankings wise, I'm a little bit more consistent than some of the other guys and jumped myself up to number 2. And number 1, we got Bub. Bub's been the most consistent all year round. Weakness of his game is the putting, but when he is making putts, he's solid. Some of these rounds should be in the mid-70s if he makes some putts, honestly. Gets screwed over on a lot of lip outs, a lot of burnt edges, bad breaks when it comes to it, but more consistent with the putter would just really equal lower scores for him. And I don't see him struggle too often off the tee. He does have the occasional shank here and there, as we all do, but when he does, he recovers nicely and finds a way to pick up those strokes he lost on that hole down the road. For example, he had a 7 early on today. To shoot an 81 with a 7 on your card is still a pretty good round for the level of golfers that we are. But Bub taking the solid #1 spot the majority of the season here. The rest of the guys, it's really jumbled up, and there could be movement any which way. But going forward this week, I'll actually be out next week taking a little family vacation for a few days. So I will be out of town. I'm going to have Bub or Hank or Scrounge hold it down and run the show and figure out what they want to do. They could just do a scramble. They can do whatever the hell they want when I'm not there, because it usually turns into chaos anyway. But I'll be back the following week, which will be my birthday round. I'm going to try to lock up 3 tee times for that. Get the whole crew out there, majority of the guys anyway, and maybe some of the other guys like the Helium Collective and others. So make sure you guys, speaking of Helium Collective, go down to Leafy Peaks, check out some Cowboy Lemonade. We got the 8s in there, the DNA. Pre-rolls will be in there soon, if not already, as well as if your local Stage 1, Legacy, Dark Horse, and many more. So go check them out. You'll be seeing them popping up in a lot more spots soon. So Helium Collective, shout out to the boys over there, and appreciate everybody tuning into the Pitch Putt and Puff. We'll be back on Wednesday with another episode. Going to drop a couple guests this week. Might even pop in another bonus episode. And we'll have a guest instead of a recap episode, because I won't be here next week. I'll be banking a couple episodes, and we'll have a guest on Monday and Wednesday next week. And hopefully I can get some of the guys on for a Friday episode. But appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back on Wednesday with a guest. And make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe. Go check out go give a rating on Apple, and go check us out on YouTube. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will check you out on Wednesday.
Yeah. Roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burt and Bogies, hole in one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discuss in the course.